Hey, grab a cup. Let's talk for a few minutes. Today, I want to talk about a danger that no one ever warns us about. It's not about when life falls apart, it's not about when life gets hard. It's when things get familiar. You're still showing up, yes. You're still doing all the right things, yes. You're still moving, but something subtle begins to change. You're quicker to react, you're slower to listen. You feel more certain, but somehow less alive. And one day, without realizing it, you stop asking questions. Not out of arrogance, but out of comfort. That's usually when growth stops, by the way. Not because you failed, not because you lack discipline, but because you're no longer curious. There's a proverb that says, intelligent people are ready to learn. Their ears are open to knowledge. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say intelligent people know more. It says intelligent people listen more. And that distinction right there changes everything about your future. We've been taught to think that intelligence is about answers, having the right opinion, being articulate, knowing exactly what to say. But wisdom tells a completely different story. The most intelligent people I've ever met, they aren't impressive because of what they know. They're impressive because of how open they stay. They listen longer than others. They ask better questions. They resist the urge to prove themselves, not because they're unsure, but because they're grounded. And today over this cup, I just wanted to remind you that growth doesn't belong to the gifted, it belongs to the teachable. And the moment we confuse experience with arrival, the moment we think we've made it, learning quietly leaves the room. It's a gentleman. It's not going to stay where it's not welcomed. It's not going to force itself. So how does growth end? It rarely ends with a rebellion or a burnout. It usually ends with a sentence that sounds harmless. I already know this. You've thought it, I've thought it, you've said it, I've said it. And the thought feels efficient. I'm just trying to speed this along. You're telling me something I already know. It feels mature. It feels earned, but it's costly. Curiosity is what keeps us flexible. It keeps us adaptable. It keeps us alive to nuance and change. And the problem is, whenever that curiosity begins to fade, feedback becomes an attack. New ideas, they feel unnecessary. Different perspectives feel threatening. And without it, you don't stay where you are. You actually begin shrinking internally. The reality is, stagnation isn't loud, it's comfortable. And that's why it's dangerous. There was a time when I thought that growth meant being sharp, clear, confident, certain. I spoke more, explained more, defended more. And on the outside, it looked like leadership. That's a leader. But inside, something was off. I wasn't learning, I was performing. The moment that changed came during a conversation that I remember vividly. Someone offered me feedback I didn't ask for, and I didn't like it. And looking back, it wasn't even harsh. It was just honest. And instead of listening, I felt that urge, that tightening in my chest, that urge to explain, to justify, to show why they were incorrect. I nodded, I smiled, but I did not receive it. Later that night, it hit me that I wasn't protecting the truth, I was protecting my ego. That's when I realized something humbling. I wasn't stuck because I lacked answers. I was stuck because I closed my ears. Growth didn't return dramatically. It actually returned quietly. It returned the moment humility came back into the room. And if you're like me and sometimes you're quick to defend, I want to offer you this statement. Growth often resumes after defensiveness ends. And so our job is to remain open, to remain curious. And curiosity isn't soft, it's courage. Curiosity requires saying, I don't know everything, I might be wrong. There's more for me to learn. And that takes real strength. Pride might protect comfort, but it is curiosity that invites transformation in your life. And the people that grow the most, they aren't the youngest, the smartest, the most talented. They're the ones brave enough to remain students even after they're experienced. The moment you stop learning in life is the moment life starts outgrowing you. So what do truly teachable people do? They ask before they assume. They start sentences with, what am I missing here? They listen without rehearsing a response. They let understanding come before expression. They learn outside their comfort zone. They learn from people younger, different, and unfamiliar. They invite feedback without armor, not because it's easy, but because it's refining. And these aren't habits of beginners. They're habits of people committed to a better trajectory. Let me speak this clearly over you. The fact that you clicked on this video, the fact that you're listening, reflecting, should tell you something special about you. It should tell you that you haven't closed yourself off. It should tell you that you haven't settled. It should tell you that you don't believe that you're done. If that's true, repeat after me. I stay teachable because I'm committed to becoming. And that posture keeps your future expandable. So that's the choice that you and I are presented with. Protect what we know or pursue who we're becoming. Curiosity isn't weakness. Listening is not passive. Learning is not starting over. It's how intelligent people stay ready. What is one thing you're choosing to learn or relearn in this season? Drop your answer in the comments, and remember that growth doesn't belong to the loudest voice. It belongs to the open ear. And as long as your ears stay open, your future stays open too. Always remember that growth is a journey. It's not a destination. I'm in it with you. I'll see you on the next one.